It's the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRO.
Oh, I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, and that is the magic that is Poopy Nokomis. Tony Lee back on top of the throne.
You know, we do our Big 500 Memorial Weekend countdowns and that sort of. What about our Tony Tune weekend?
Man.
There'd be two.
Oh, that is fantastic.
No, that's not true.
That's a very special way to kick off Wednesday, August the 21st.
The gift of fecal matter.
Whoa. I mean, and amazingly enough, it might not have sounded like that, but you actually recorded that in the toilet, which is incredible.
I did, yes.
Right in the bathroom,
Technology.
yeah. A little dictaphone in there. That is awesome. Well done, Tony Lee. It is, as I said, Wednesday, August 21st. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning to you. Let's get it going. I mean, I don't know if we can get it any more on the right foot than that one. But here's your top 5 and 6 to kick off the day. As you may have just put together, Lake Nokomis is still pretty poopy and still closed. There was a spill. If you're just coming around to this, there was a sewer leak right near Lake Nokomis Monday. There are high levels of bacteria in the water. You cannot get in the water at Lake Nokomis unless, of course, you just want to throw convention. You know, you just want to spit in convention's face and jump in there. Ryder, you checked it out yesterday.
I did take a little field trip to Nokomis, and there's turds all over the beach.
Oh,
they had feathers
really?
near them, so I'm assuming they were from birds, but who freaking knows?
And there's no way anybody was in the water.
They got the signs up. You know, there was one very adventurous person who decided to dip their toes in the water.
Why not?
Do a little splashing around.
Yeah.
Like to live dangerously.
I mean, there's the fecal freaks out there. They're all gathering around Lake Nokomis for a kinky good time.
I don't read so well. What's that sign say?
Yeah. Well, like I said, some people dig it.
Man, well, I hope they get that cleaned out soon. I hope the lake is still open, but I really hope we get to hear that song some more. All right, number 4 on your top 5 at 6. According to a new survey, by 8:36 this morning, 2.5 hours from now, we'll pretty much all know if our day has been ruined. This is what they came up with. The average person knows if their day has literally been ruined by 8:36. It could just be you woke up feeling sick, the coffee maker's on the fritz, you lost your keys, you forgot your phone at home, you ran out of toilet paper. All kinds of things go wrong early in the day. That's weird. I don't think about things like that. I assume things can go wrong at any time of day. And if I wake up to a real pain in the ass, I think, well, it's just going to get better now.
Yeah, nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
You know, just as long as by 10 p.m. we're stoned or drunk. That's all. That's the time of the day I'm looking at right there.
That's the line. Just get till 10 p.m. and then bang, forget it. Unplug. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6, the world's oldest person has died. Maria Brañas Morera in Spain. This is the oldest confirmed person, that is 117 years old.
Wow. She looks born. Yeah, looks fantastic. I'm looking at a picture of her. I'm surprised.
That's her great granddaughter you're looking at.
Lord, it looks like a mummy for Christ's sake.
She does look pre-mummified, is what that's called.
Let me guess. Died as a result of a knife fight outside a biker bar.
What? Now, literally, I'd get a tattoo of her if that was true. That'd be my first tattoo. Who's that on your shoulder, Steve? It's the world's oldest woman. She was 117, and she got in a knife fight with a biker and died. 117 years old. So just go back in history if you want. So that means she was of age to remember the Titanic sinking. She would have been 5. She was born in 1907. World War I was like as she was in her teens.
Right.
An adult with plenty in the rear view during World War II already. I mean, still going strong. She did actually, to answer the question, she died as she wished, according to family members, in her sleep, peacefully and without pain. At least as far as we know. She's like a baby in the 1970s. They couldn't feel pain. We did mention yesterday that it wasn't until the 80s that they, hey, don't operate on that infant without anesthesia. So the oldest person in the world now, Japan's Tomiko Ituka, who is now 116 years old. And I do believe The third oldest person in the world now is an American. Oh, we're just going to leave her be. Leave the old people alone. They don't need fame and fortune. They don't need anything. You know what they need is just shut up. Keep it quiet. Keep it down there. Keep it down to a dull roar.
A cigar and a glass of whiskey. Isn't that how it goes?
That always seems to be the secret.
Yeah, they always say that. If it's just a cigar and a glass of whiskey, that's what kept me young. I think they're just trying to kill off everyone else so they don't beat their record.
You know what? One of the secrets to her long life is she did not ever come across a random wolf-dog hybrid, which means she was not hanging out in northern Minnesota. Number 2 on your top 5 at 6. A possible, wolf-dog hybrid has been spotted in northern Minnesota. Voyager's Wolf Project researchers have got a video, and they've spotted this dog. They think it might be a wolf and like a Malamute. You know, like a Malamute is what's the cartoon dog? A Marmaduke.
Yeah.
You know, one
Forbidden
of those.
Love up there.
Oh, Marmaduke's a Great Dane.
Oh, well, I thought he was who's a Malamute? One of those characters. Anyway, there's a Malamute wolf hybrid, possibly. The Voyager's Wolf Project said we've never seen an animal that looks like this. We suspect it is some either strange mutation or a mix. Northern Minnesota, who knows what's going on up there. You get, if I get like 30 minutes on a drive into just nothing but forest, I assume all bets are off about everything.
I know. Because Minnesotans excited. It gets them a little worked up, like when an Iron Ranger marries a Minneapolis liberal. It's just, it's unnatural. It's everyone all fired up.
Number 1 on your top 5 at 6. How about a world champion from St. Paul? Dia Lee is your new cornhole world champion.
How about that?
That is incredible.
World champ, here she is.
It's fun in general, and I'm a competitive person, so it allows me to stay competitive and be competitive. Makes me feel proud. It makes me feel happy, and the success is just not my own. It's my husband, my kids, my sponsors. A lot of people think, oh, it looks so easy. All you have to do is just put it in the hole. But once they try it, they're like, oh my goodness, this is a lot more difficult than it seems.
That's what I found. 38-year-old mother of 4 and manages to find a little time in her day to be world cornhole champion. And what was her last name again? What is Lee?
Yeah.
And then you've got Suni Lee. There's 2 Lees with a championship. I'm just saying, Tony, where's
There's a pedigree there.
Where's the hardware? Where's your hardware? Where's the trophy? Where's the medals?
I got a crescent wrench right here. Oh, you need to borrow it? I'll borrow it to you.
You would think it would be the easiest thing in the world. Oh, it's kind of funny and all this. You know why I'm more impressed with that than Suni Lee's medal at the? Because everybody does cornhole. Now, 11 people do gymnastics. Okay, so it's a bit. But when you're the best in something that everyone on earth is automatically okay at, that's impressive. I mean, that's crazy to me that there is a world championship of cornhole, and that someone is literally like, no, I did that thing we're all pretty good at. I did it better than everyone.
Right, and she's going pro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sponsors. You heard the word sponsors.
Oh, I thought that meant she was an alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
I want to judge.
That could be the case. Hey, morning, Savage, Minnesota, or as we prefer to pronounce it, Savage around here. Savage, Minnesota. Mes amis. Down south in the French burb of Savage. No, Savage, good morning. Good to have you with us on the KQ Morning Show. Hope you're enjoying your morning so far. I hope your day has not been ruined, although you still have, as we said, 2.5 hours to see if that's actually the case. The fair's coming up this week. Maybe you've heard of it, the Great Minnesota Get Together. You know what we probably need? We probably need a soundtrack for people watching at the fair. You know what I mean? We're all going to be there. We're all going to be taking it all in. And we need to build the perfect soundtrack for just such an event. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Hey, the fair kicks off on Thursday. We are going to head out there on Friday. We, meaning the KQ Morning Show. Midday-ish, we'll be there at the corner of Cooper and Lee, having ourselves a good time. And, as this is a rock station, we were talking about the fact, we got to start building soundtracks for things in life. And at the fair, there's so much going on, and there's, more importantly, so many people and such incredible people watching. And we were thinking, what are some soundtrack songs? If you're going to build the perfect playlist to go accompany your fair trip.
Yeah.
You just want to think about what sort of songs you might want to go with. I immediately thought of two. Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh, yeah.
There's just no shortage of that happening on. And then a bit more, as much as a Beatles song can be obscure, from the White Album, Savoy Truffle. It's just a song listing food products like nonstop. George Harrison just basically at that point going, we can write songs about whatever and people will listen.
Yeah,
and
the Beatles with the munchies.
Yeah, just going out of his mind.
I like that one.
It's just all sorts of weird flavors of things. I mean, this is a song that the first lyric is cream tangerine and Montelamar, a ginger sling with a pineapple heart. What? Sorry, what? Yeah, and then he just goes on. Yeah, sure. He's just going on through food.
Deep fry it, put it on a stick.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I nominate Tony Lee's Feces tune from earlier this morning that we will play again a little bit later on? I'd like to also tag the State Fair onto that one. I mean, you get a little close to those bathrooms.
That's true.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
There's the parades with the big horses.
Yeah, right, exactly. The road apples out there you have to dodge occasionally. No, actually, the State Fair does a pretty good job with their bathrooms. I had to do a feature one year for the morning show, and they sent me into some of the men's rooms around there looking for just nastiness.
Really?
But, they really have got their act together out
nice.
there.
Glad to see it.
Yeah. Plumbing's looking good. They're dumping it in Lake Nokomis, I guess.
As we all know, this is just my second summer in Minneapolis. This will be my second State Fair experience as a resident. And I still, when I think of the fair, my first thought is we went a few times last year. Well, we went with the show. Then Rosemary and I went a couple times. There was a moment at the fair when I had already had a series of savory and sweet things to eat.
Yeah.
And when I say there was a moment, it was the time when I said, I'm disgusting. Just stop. I'm going to sit under that tree in the shade, and then when I feel like I can, I'm going to the car and I'm going home.
Yeah.
I truly was like, I am so bloated and grossed out. And I got up to walk after 20 minutes, and I just saw a bag of mini donuts, and they were frying. They were pulling them out of the oil, and I was like, I'm just going to eat those on the way to the car. And I just bought, and Rosemary's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I got to go. Just get me out of here. And I literally ate like 9 mini donuts right out of the oil, hot and sweet. And then by the time I got to the car, I wanted to cry.
It took 2 tranquilizer darts to put Gorman down.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
And we threw him in that wagon, that everybody's dragging around out there, and got him out to the car and safely home.
How about this? This just hit me. Zach Brown Band, huge country artist. Their big breakthrough hit, Chicken Fried. It was just
sure.
Which I don't really even know how it goes or what the lyrics are, but there's got to be some fried chicken of some sort out there at the fair. Someone's frying something that looks like chicken.
If you go on the State Fair app, and we started just doing this last year, I don't know how long they've had this feature on the app, but you can go down the menu of all. 1 second. Just hacking up some State Fair. They're getting ready.
Okay.
There it is. That's good. Dippy. And you can go down all the foods, and I want to eat that one. I want to eat that one. I want to eat that one. And it'll put it on a map for you.
What?
And there it is. Now you're looking at a State Fair map with all the locations of all the delicious things you want to eat. Like the deep fried ranch. That's the new one going on there this year.
Oh boy!
And then we just see how far we can get. We start that State Fair death march. And we always. I think we had like 8. We being my daughters and myself. Sid the kid will be back for the State Fair. Got to. Born and raised here. She has to return like the, what do they say in Dumb and Dumber? The salmon of Capistrano? I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever they say.
Not the swallows.
That's what happens.
Anyway, I think we had about 18 on there. We made it through 6. Not bad. Before I was doing that, burp puke thing.
Oh, sure.
Verp.
Verp. So people watching at the fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryder, what's a song that comes to mind? I mean, you're awful quiet.
Oh,
over
I'll
there.
say it. I will say it. It's Queen, Fat Bottom Girls. And I am not body shaming at all.
No.
You take those cheese curds, you put them in your body. You know where they're going. You wear your short shorts. It's freaking hot out there.
Yeah.
And do it with pride. Don't be embarrassed.
By the way, you're right. There were a lot of short shorts. There were a lot of short shirts. There were a lot of tank tops. There were a lot of T-shirts with fascinating statements on the front and back of them.
Oh, man.
I did say when we were out there the first day, the Friday last year, when we all all went out as a show. At some point, I remember saying, like, is it like inappropriate shirt day? And everyone's like, no, it's just the fair.
KQRS, the only radio station or business at the state fair to have a shirt banned from the state fair. A cease and desist on our...
Oh, do tell.
Which one was that?
Wash My Balls. We had the T-shirt back. You know, we have all the I have to poop T-shirts you'll see around the world still these days. But we went with a Wash My Balls T-shirt and golf reference, obviously.
Okay, of course.
So clearly. I thought that the whole station got banned from the fair for that one. Is that not true?
Well, now I have the worst memory for these sort of things, but that started a little pissing match in which I believe we exited the fair and did our F the Fair broadcast off the grounds, and then we're invited back to the fair. You know, we made nice, kissy, made up, because we want to be there.
Of course
and
we do.
They banished us out to a tractor corner over there, corner of Cooper and Lee.
I love Tractor Corner.
I love it too. That's where we ought to be.
Chill, it's not super crowded. You're right by the beer hanger. I love
you're
it.
right there by Giggles Campfire.
Yes,
it's a perfect
right next
place.
to Giggles.
And, hey, I'm a farm kid. I like being over by the tractors. You've got the exit right there down at the end of Cooper or whatever that is.
And super far away from all of the stinky horse farms and stuff, like the barns and all that kind of stuff. We're on the opposite end.
Yeah, and the other stinky radio stations and TV stations. We don't want to be anywhere near them.
It worked for me.
So I think it did work out for everyone.
I had a great time last year, and I had no idea. It's because you guys were so damn defensive. We were banished away from all the other broadcasters. Well played.
Yeah. Quite proud of it.
I worked at a pizza joint years ago called Fellini's, and they got one time late at night, the owner, who since then got a new view on the world, which is my way of saying he got sober. Before that, when he was still having fun with all of his employees,
sure.
A late night closing down the shop drinking session turned into a little bit of artwork that ended up on a Fellini sweatshirt, and we printed sweatshirts, and it shows a giant rat with a crazily enormous phallus, and he's like. He's holding like a salami in his hand and he's spinning a dough in the other hand, and he's wearing a T-shirt that just says pizza, spelled P-E-E-T-S-A, and on the shirt it said Fellini's. You've tried the rest, now choke on this. And those were printed and worn by employees.
That's awesome.
Pretty good.
Choke on this.
That was really good.
You could serve some average pizza, and I'd be swinging by Fellini's.
Yeah. On the KQ Talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. Let us know your Minnesota State Fair people watching soundtrack. The songs we need. Big Al wrote, kind of sums it all up. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Should be playing throughout the fairgrounds. That's a pretty good one.
Oh, man, I should take some of that with me, like in a water bottle or something. I never thought of that.
Yeah, no kidding. Here's a good one on the text line. Mungo Jerry in the summertime.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
That just sets the mood perfectly.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to say on that. All right, time to look back. On this day in 1947, a bunch of little kids on a baseball team in Pennsylvania. They were known as the Maynard Midgets. They won the first ever National Little League tournament, later renamed the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It was 1947 that thing started, and I watched the damn Little League World Series every year.
I just want to keep surfing past it, and then I thought I'll just stop and watch a couple of pitches.
That's all it takes.
And 3 games later.
Little League Baseball grew into a national movement. I mean, it was such a giant part of my childhood, and I only played one season. I played soccer and then basketball. Only 1 year did I play Little League. Broke my arm early in the season. Rode out the whole season in the dugout wearing a cast and won the championship. I figured it's never going to get any easier than this.
Still got that ring?
Oh, well, I still got a trophy.
Yeah.
I got a trophy.
Actually, it's totally not true. I don't have a trophy. My mom donated a whole bunch of stuff to Goodwill once, including my Little League championship trophy.
8 kids. You got to clear the clutter, man.
That's what it was.
Take it with you. Tony, would you get a trophy in Little League?
Yeah, absolutely. The Torino Max. You bet.
Attaboy.
Still got the trophy. It's hilarious. Yeah.
I was on a team called the Dodgers, but our sponsor was Russell T. Baker Insurance. We were the Russell T. Baker Dodgers.
Yeah, we had it was a State Farm dude. I forget his name. He was one of ours in midgets. You had Pee Wee's midgets, and then we were on to something Teener ball and all that good stuff. American Legion ball.
Oh, those are the days, huh? On this day in 1982, speaking of baseball, Raleigh Fingers of the Milwaukee Brewers became the first reliever in history to record 300 saves. He retired a few years later with 341. And, of course, anybody that's our age, you hear Raleigh Fingers and you just see that dastardly mustache.
Oh, man, I wanted one of those when I grew up. I thought, I hope I get a mustache.
He looked like the kind of guy who would tie a woman to the train tracks. That mustache was awesome. By the way, Mariano Rivera has the record for most saves. Raleigh Fingers retired with 341. Rivera only has 652.
Jeez.
Bastard.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
The Minnesota State Fair is famous.
Man.
Moo.
Come
one more
on.
time. Cue it up. One more time.
Let's go.
All right. Well, there's what State Fair just getting started tomorrow. In fact, I did pass. Did you guys see that big lard tanker truck pulling into the fair?
Yeah.
It had a puck behind it. There were 2 tankers it was pulling.
Damn straight there was.
I mean, it's just, yeah. Oh, they're getting the grease loaded up into the little food, various food trucks and food establishments over there. Oh, I bet the smell over there today is just going to be rich with sugar and grease and salt and beer.
I will admit to thinking before last summer that it was kind of, everyone's getting a little, it's overstated. I mean, I was like, come on, how crazy can it actually be? And then I hear that song Frying, and I'm like, yeah, that's still underselling it. It's incredible.
Yeah, you were going mental.
You haven't been to all the little nooks and crannies, too. Have you had the pork chop on a stick?
No.
Have you been in the haunted house?
No.
God,
no,
there's so much work to
I still
do.
have a lot to do.
The butterfly house. And what about the mesh shirt? Ryder, I'm looking at you. You have a hand in choosing the KQ wear, various T-shirts and such.
Well, I gave that up.
Out of the State Fair. I know you did.
They kept rejecting all of my ideas. They were getting banned, so... Yeah.
I liked your KQ onesie idea for a little baby.
Oh, yeah.
All Dad wanted was a blowjob. I thought that would. By the way, Ray Eric, a longtime KQ, KQ legend.
Hold on, wait.
What?
I just need a moment. I'm just gonna. Okay, I had to process for a second. Never heard that one.
Just sneaking that one by. But Ray Eric chimed in this morning. Thank you, Ray, out there, buddy, and reminded me we had a second T-shirt banned at the State Fair. Not only Wash My Balls, but also No Butthole Play was banned. Yeah.
Go figure.
Where was the golf reference on that one?
No, that wasn't anything about, I guess the idea there was that the State Fair encourages butthole play. And they didn't want to send a mixed message of no butthole play at the State Fair. It's
if you do the fair right, there is going to be butthole action.
There is.
It's inevitable.
I mean, your body's gonna. There's Montezuma's revenge. Please, let's talk about Minnesota's revenge.
I saw the worst shirt out there just a few years ago. There was a guy wandering about, and it was around like the children's ride area, so completely inappropriate. Also, he was wearing a shirt, those shirts that say like "I'm with stupid," and then there's an arrow pointing off to the side.
Yeah.
This one said, it had the arrow, but it said "loves it in the ass." So this guy actually got up and chose that top to wear to go out in the big city.
Proudly.
Yeah,
proudly.
Of all the choices.
Yeah, when I see T-shirts, it's like bumper stickers. Sometimes you think, okay, I saw that at the truck stop too, but not only did I not purchase it, I didn't put it on my car forever. I saw that shirt and I laughed because it's almost an ironic thing. Like, oh my God, can you imagine someone? Oh, he's actually wearing it. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
You pictured the people running away who didn't want to stand next to him and have the arrow pointing to them.
No kidding.
Unbelievable. I saw the one I saw. The only one that I saw last year because I did. I mean, I saw plenty, but the only one I remember, and it was right after we got to the fair. We went out there. It was Friday. And I'm thinking like, okay, there's the fair. I've heard all about it. I'm still just kind of getting used to the idea. And it was, and a guy walked up and introduced himself, and he's an old friend of mine's little brother. This is a kid I hadn't seen in 40 years, like since the mid '80s. And I'm like, oh, my God, what's happening? We're kind of catching up. We're chatting. And I see a guy walk by, and he's wearing a shirt, and it has nothing to do with the fair, but it just said, I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look.
Oh, God.
And I mean, he's like walking right towards me, and I'm talking to this guy. I'm talking to this dude, Adam. I'm like, man, it's great to Sorry. I was like, what the hell? I was like, man, right on.
I mean, they save them for the fair. How do we not have a KQ mesh T-shirt? Do we?
We got the camo one. You can't even see it.
No, I like that one, but I'm just saying, I'm ready for mesh, and I would cut that sucker off.
Okay, the bare midriff.
Yeah, let the belly out.
Yeah.
Is there banned for the Wash Your Balls T-shirt? What was the backstory on Wash Your Balls? Was that a shtick from the show recent? I mean, what led to, let's put that on a shirt, and then the fair says, get out of here?
Talking on the show about, actually, it was a golf reference. Can somebody wash my balls, please? Then it was just one of those things we isolated. We played it over and over.
I see.
Had some fun with it, put it on. Sure. And so each year that we would have, some sayings that we just, kept brutalizing each other with.
Of course.
It would end up on a T-shirt, and sometimes it would end up at the fair, and sometimes it would not.
It would end up in the garage because we weren't allowed to bring it.
And then everybody wanted them.
And I run into them, yeah.
No, do we have some no butthole plays laying around?
Probably. Have you seen this building?
Not all of it.
Come Christmas time.
Oh, boy.
Man, yeah, that's like repurposing. My daughter Marley, when she was like 4 one year, she finally got Christmas. It was all about giving presents, and there was all these presents under the tree one day, like out of the blue. We're like, where did those come from? And she had wrapped presents, like not like 4, but like 18 of them.
Oh wow!
Under the tree, and I'm like, how does a 4-year-old get presents? She just walked around. It was like one was a salt shaker. She was grabbing things from the house, wrapping them, and then gave them to us with like tears. Like, I love you so much. And she didn't understand, like, these aren't we're not wrapping things we already have.
Right.
But the thought was beautiful.
Sweet. It is beautiful.
And I said, Santa Claus, were he real, would be so proud of you, but he's not real. And then she cried. It was terrible.
And then you hit her.
How could you? Although you've got to wait till Christmas to get some salt on your.
Well, but those Christmas wash my ball shirts. I'm looking forward to that. On the KQ Talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. We're also talking about the people watching at the fair is second to none, and as we're slowly building our soundtrack, a solid one from AC/DC. Bob, the hummus guy. Texted in, whole lot of Rosie. That fits the theme.
Yes.
That's AC/DC's version of Fat Bottom Girls.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, warm
That's
in the
exactly
winter,
right.
shady in the summer.
Weird Al has both eat it and fat, which, and my bologna for that matter, I'm sure. Can you get a fried bologna sandwich at the fair?
I'm just going to say yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, man, come on.
Just ask.
Someone will whip something up.
You know what? There is. I guarantee you, there's a vendor. If you went in there, at least one person you could approach and say, "Any chance you got a fried bologna sandwich back there?" And they'd go, "Hang on," and they'd open their backpack. And I got bologna and bread. Give me a sec. I'll figure it out. I just happen to have this with me. I'm sure that's going to happen.
You can buy Spam on a stick, but you can also just buy a can of Spam. And I'm sure somebody would fry it up and put it between bread for you. So.
That's pretty
close.
outstanding.
Nicely.
I just remembered the other shirt I saw. It was a picture. It was like a deer, but its body was a pickle, and it just said dildo. That was another one. Like, yeah, all right, I like this.
That works.
I get the vibe going here pretty well. Hey, Coon Rapids, what's happening up there this morning? Good to know that we've got a lot of listeners in Coon Rapids enjoying the morning, enjoying the show, hopefully, and getting ready to enjoy the fair like the rest of us.
I was just in Coon Rapids last night. Had to pick up a dresser that someone in the family had purchased and wanted to run up there. Sandy Flowers,
man,
good morning if you're listening.
Isn't it great being a dad sometimes?
Isn't it right? And they called me at like 6 o'clock last night. Can you help me move a dresser? I'm like, what if I called you at 10 o'clock at night and asked you to go help me move a large piece of furniture across the city? Well, that would be a little late, Dad. I go, that's 6 p.m. for me. It's 10 o'clock for you. But I sucked it up and we got the job done.
Nice.
They're in fine, but yeah, up in Coon Rapids. Sandy Flowers may be listening this morning. She did one of those things that, she's runs a little furniture outfit up there out of her garage.
We're all going to be heading up north of town, well beyond Coon Rapids, a little later this fall. KQ up north with Huffman Weber Construction this October 3rd through the 6th. You can join us at Cragen's Resort on Gull Lake, right there past Brainerd.
been missing it since last year, man.
Yep.
Join us for a broadcast of this very show, the KQ Morning Show. We're going to have a karaoke party. There's going to be a dinner cruise, live music, and a lot more with the whole KQ crew. Book your stay right now. Go to 92kqrs.com. That is sponsored by Hoffman Weber Construction. And, of course, Cragen's Resort on Gull Lake. Looking very forward to that.
Was there a dinner on the cruise last year? Because
that's new.
We had a sunset cruise.
Yes.
We had a cocktail cruise, but not a dinner cruise.
Dinner on the boat.
Yeah, because I got on that boat a little buzzed, and I got off with some help.
I got on a little buzzed, and I got off a lot buzzed. Yeah. That was a fine weekend, and this year
Yes,
I would imagine we'll have to lap it and come back with a better return.
Hoo-yah.
Absolutely.
Hoo-yah! Not so much thinking about the things we're going to eat at the fair, because those are at least enjoyable as they're happening. Maybe, you might get some, your body might pay you back later in a way that's regrettable. But you enjoy the fair food. But sometimes you find yourself with something in your mouth that's hardly enjoyable at all. Let's discuss some of the grossest things we've ever found in our mouths. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Wednesday, August the 21st. Toto, hold the line. Steve Lukather, the guitarist of Toto, legendary session man, and then also the founding member of Toto, always said, we're the most misunderstood band ever.
Yeah?
And which I always said, no, everyone gets it. You guys wrote really great songs. You were all amazing players, and you're just boring as hell. I mean, not as a band, but I mean, like, they didn't have like a Mick Jagger-esque. There's not like a star. Yeah. They were like a faceless sort of entity, if you will. And he just thought, we were so much more than that. It's like, no, dude, you're plenty. You have a ton of great songs everyone loves, and you guys all play circles around just about everybody else. That was always my response.
I have a high opinion of Toto, I guess, or it's not low, I should say. But come to think of it, I've never seen them in concert. I'm not aware of even turning one down. Have they ever been out on tour? Really stumbling through. I'm just going through my memory. I'm like, I've been doing this.
Just played the State Theater sometime last year. I'm sure somebody can hit us up on the text line 651-989-ROCK and tell us what date. Lisa Miller went and told me it was one of the best shows. she gave it rave reviews.
Okay.
So, and I trust Lisa about this.
If they're questioning why they were never seen as cool, I would think maybe naming yourself after an iconic pocket rat from a famous movie.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's got something to do with it. Because if you think about it, for almost 40 years, Toto was one thing. It was that little yapping dog. And then all of a sudden, you name your band after that. People are going to look. They're not going to think you're the next Led Zeppelin.
And listen, I will sing along every time with Africa. But after Africa came out, it wasn't like they were in the Allman Brothers aforementioned Led Zeppelin camp. Yeah. You put them over in this other camp.
That said, Lukather, as good as anybody ever, and their drummer, Jeff Porcaro. Now, that is a drummer's drummer. He is everybody's Mount Rushmore session guy. The drummer for Toto is as great a studio and recorded drummer as anybody ever, literally. He's like pinnacle, top shelf, all-timer.
Well, I hope this segment gets back to him. Except for the part where I said, God, have they ever toured?
Nah, you're gonna have to. Well, he's been gone since the early '90s.
That drummer dude
slipped away from the mortal coil. Was out apparently. He was cutting his grass and had a heart attack. And then the story got out that he had been using some sort of insecticide and he had an allergic reaction. And then everybody went, actually, it's all the cocaine. But anyway, one thing led to another. Great players. And and for the record, and then we'll get off this because I did not intend to talk about Toto for 11 minutes. The last time I saw Ringo Starr's All-Star Band, Steve Lukather, the guitarist, was playing with him. And when they would go into those Toto songs, I mean, the roof blows off the joint. It's like, they would, because the All-Star Band, everyone in the band has a few of their own hits, and then they all go through them. And every time he would step up and they would kick into like that song, Hold the Line, or Africa, or Rosanna, whatever, it's like, you feel it in the room like, oh man, everyone loves this song.
That was the other one, Rosanna. But again, I would sing along with every word.
Yeah, of course. I remember I know where I was the first time I ever heard Rosanna. I could take you to Highway 68 down south and bring you to the mile marker the first time I was like, what is this song? And I turned it up on the car radio because it hit me in the head that hard. It was May 8th, 1982. I'm a troubled man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I remember
Rain
all
Man,
these things.
our host.
Oh, Rosanna Arquette, right?
That's exactly what it was. That's right. Big day in my life for a whole lot of reasons we don't have time to get into. But, man, that song was working for me.
It was not about Rosanna Anna Dana?
No, it was not about Rosanna Dana, although it should have been.
Dana.
Oh, man. That was at a time when I was still experiencing things for the first time in life. You know, the teen years when the lights come on, as I like to call. This was down south. I had an experience a few years before that when the inciting incident of my life is when I moved at the age of 10 from one state to another. And it was traumatizing for me. It was horrible. I was leaving everything I knew and I went to a new place and everybody talked funny and I just didn't like it. And I met a kid named John and we actually became great friends. And I had smoked cigarettes before. As a 9-year-old, I was working Pall Mall filterless on the golf course with my friends. 9.
Well, it was cool back then. I heard Ryder go, okay. Ryder, we were raised in a different generation.
Yeah.
You looked up to people that you looked forward to someday being old enough to legally just smoke cigarettes.
Me and my buddy Jimmy, both the youngest of large families. We had teenagers and we had siblings in their 20s when we were 9 years old. And so you're just trying to keep up with the Joneses, you know what I mean? And we would take cigarettes that his mom didn't miss, and we would walk over to the golf course and smoke them really fast. But what I'd never heard of even or seen until I went to Kentucky was chewing tobacco. That was a totally new concept. And my buddy John, my new best friend, had a pouch of Red Man.
Yeah.
We were in the 6th grade, and he was like, you want to try some? And I'm like, he goes, you ever smoked? I said, yeah. He goes, it's like that. You get a little high from the tobacco. And I said, cool. What do you do? And he said, you take a little bit and you stick it between your cheek and gum for a couple minutes, and then you chew it up and swallow it.
Oh, no. Incorrect.
It's right there on the can.
And you know what I said?
The instructions.
You know what I said?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bring it.
And I did just that. I stuck it in there. I was immediately high, spinning uncomfortably so. And I was like, whoa, man. I mean, that stuff hits you quick.
Yeah,
and then he goes, just go ahead and swallow it. And I did. And then it came back up along with everything else I'd eaten that day.
Yep.
I did that
And
once
to
too.
this day, I've never had such a violent reaction to anything that went into my mouth. And it wasn't even an accident. I was dumb to believe him, but I put some just Red Man right in my mouth, took a few chops and swallowed it. And I've never been able to top it. Not that I'm trying to, but occasionally accidentally you put the wrong thing in your mouth. I mean, I've done the thing where I took a drink and a cigarette butt like,
Yeah.
But no, that tobacco still all these years later, number one with a bullet on the hit parade top 10.
I was just thinking about it. Yeah, I grew up in Copenhagen country. Copenhagener Skull, that was like Ford or Chevy.
And the tin.
Yeah, the tin of the Copenhagener Skull.
Yep.
And in fact, I have several cousins, but they're all bull riders out in Pierce, South Dakota. And Steve, the oldest, he's 1 year older than myself, chewed so much that it, as it does, you would get that lip cancer. It would eat away at your gums and your lips.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, Steve, sometime in his 40s, you got to quit chewing. You're deteriorating. You're going to get cancer, and you're going to lose all your teeth on the bottom of your mouth there. And he came up with a solution. He just started chewing in the upper lip.
Oh,
yeah, even it out.
Yeah, he goes, I've been doing this for 30 years. Now I've got 30 good years coming in the upper lip. I'm like, yeah, Steve, I think you get it. He's still out there kicking, though, but I don't know if he's still chewing. But, yeah, I chewed one time. That was it. One time. Went with a big dip, and no one told me to spit, and I just swallowed it all, and I was green and barfing pretty quickly.
The actress Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
Sure. Clueless.
Thank
All
you.
those Aerosmith videos.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. She has a large following on social media, and she, the other day, posted a video of herself. She's out in England walking around somewhere, and she, on this video, found a little piece of fruit. And she picked it up, and she's like, hey, does anybody know what this is? It kind of looks like a cherry tomato. And she took a bite. It was like, oh.
What?
And then all these people said it's something known as a Jerusalem cherry. It is a poisonous fruit for humans. Not necessarily fatal, but very toxic. It can cause vomiting, diarrhea, drowsiness, hallucinations, and heart rate problems.
She is clueless.
She posted the video of herself taking a big bite, and then she went silent on social media for a few days, and everybody's like, oh my God, she really ate that Jerusalem cherry. She finally last night came back and said, don't worry, I'm fine. I didn't swallow it. But the point still remains. When's the last time you picked anything up and went, I wonder what this is, and bit into it? I mean, if it's a piece of chocolate from a box and you're like, does it have the pistachio or the nougat? Okay, fine. But a piece of fruit or vegetable off the street and you're just going to take a chomp? I don't think so.
Never hit that rock bottom.
Well, she's known for doing the odd things, putting things in her mouth, too. She was notorious years ago for chewing up her food and spitting it into her baby's mouth.
Oh, that's right.
Pre-chewing the food, yes.
Yeah, she was the little bird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rockin' robin bird.
Yeah, and what was the thinking? Do we remember? Was she just trying to get attention, or did she actually think that was going to help that
giving
child?
The soft content nutrition to her infant?
That's like, burying your placenta or whatever. What is that? So they do that. They'll take it out and bury it and plant a tree over top of it or something like that.
Man.
That's just one of those kooky Hollywood things, I guess.
I guess. Could be. Trying to think the worst things that you've had in your mouth, intentionally or otherwise. I mean, come on, Tony, you're a man with many a great story.
Many things in my mouth. Bong water. I was at a party on campus. Yes. It was like a 6-foot bong. I didn't tilt it at the proper angle or over angle. And boom, bong water. That was a pretty horrifying experience.
Yeah, that's you're not going to forget the taste. I've never tasted just the smell alone. I mean, you know what that is.
I don't even know if I can describe it. The bitter, ashen, hellish animal entrails. It was a nightmare.
It's not like it ever gave you a buzz. Like, there should be enough THC in there to get me all buzzed up.
I can still taste it.
The KQ Talking text line 651-989-ROCK. I believe we got David on the horn.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Great, brother. First things first, David. What's your favorite band?
My favorite band?
Yes, sir.
Gosh, I'm a real music head. To name one, just off the top of my head, I'd probably have to go with the Stones.
That'll work. Favorite team, any sport.
Favorite what?
Team, any sport. Favorite team.
Without a doubt, would have to be the Boston Celtics.
Wow. All right, fair enough. The Stones and the Celtics, couple of blue chippers right there, to be sure. All right, what do you got for us, David?
So it's tobacco related. Kind of unfortunate, but yet kind of funny. When I was 9 years old, my grandpa took me fishing. Took out his Copenhagen. I always saw him use it. Didn't really know what it was exactly. He just saw him put some black stuff into his lip, and then out on the boat, he handed it to me. He's like, "Put some in." I was like, "Put it where?" He said, "Put it in your lip." Said, all right. He gave no other instruction but that.
Yeah.
So as I put it in my lip, I swallow just naturally, as we tend to do throughout the day. We just naturally swallow just to survive and swallow our whatever.
Yeah, right.
Immediately threw up. And you would think that would have been enough to, do away with that for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, a little bit later in life when I joined the Marine Corps, I've been chewing ever since, and it's been 33 years. Now, fast forward to 1987, I'm at my future wife's family's house watching the World Series with the Twins. First time meeting her family. Me and her dad are sitting on the couch watching the game. He goes to the bathroom. We're both drinking sodas. I put mine on the table. However, mine was being used as a spittoon. He came back, sat down, grabbed my soda can, believing that it was his. Big, head back, big gulp of tobacco discharge. And I think I realized it when he put it to his lips, but I was stunned. I was speechless. I had a big lump in I didn't know what to say. It was too late. He kind of switched it a little bit, realized what it was, immediately took off for the bathroom. But 33 years later, we mended that fence, and he never didn't hold it against me for too long.
Man, if the situation had been reversed and you're the young lad and you're trying to impress the prospective father-in-law, you would have had to just swallow it and just look right at him like, it's fine, no worries, man. No,
yeah, roger that.
Yep. Yeah, damn straight. That's awesome, David. Thank you for the call, brother.
You bet.
I was thinking when he said he was fishing with his grandpa and his dad said, put this in there, and he immediately threw up. What if grandpa knew that childhood tobacco vomit attracts fish? What if the story was, and all of a sudden the fish just swarmed the boat? They love that.
That's a secret.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I wouldn't be eating those fish, I'll tell you that.
No kidding.
And we've all chugged, like we said, a cigarette butt that was, put into a beer or something like that at a party. But, yeah, what do you call it? The tobacco discharge? No.
651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. We got Dave on line 2. Dave, good morning. Dave.
Hello?
Dave, turn that radio down, brother. Good morning.
Morning.
What do you got for us?
I can barely hear you.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
Can you put the phone closer to your ear? Because I'm yelling, brother.
Pardon me?
Wow.
We got some connection problems, I guess.
Well, next call. We got someone else on hold here.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Dave. We'll try to get back to you. Let's go to Dan on line 3.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. What's happening?
Hey, just called in on the worst thing in my mouth story. I guess for me it's called balut. And what it is it's like a delicacy from the Philippines. It's a chicken with that hasn't been hatched yet. And it's just about 4 days before they're ready to hatch. They bury them in the ground for a day. And then they take them out of the ground and they warm up the egg with lukewarm water. And then they would sell them on the streets in the Philippines. And they'd yell, balut, balut. So then you'd pay to get this balut, and you crack a little hole in the top of the egg, and you start to suck on it, and then all of a sudden, comes in this chicken that's fully developed. He's got feathers, he's got everything, and, you just jump around down and rinse it down with cold beer.
Oh, not enough cold beer on the planet, brother.
No,
Holy
I don't think
cow.
so.
Well, yeah, I was in the Marines back in the 80s, and, yeah, we used to do some pretty crazy stuff, but it's common. People eat them every day.
Oh, I'm sure they do. That's like those, you ever heard of those century eggs? They have those over in China, and that would be like a duck, chicken, quail egg or something like that, and they put it in a mixture of clay or ash and quicklime, and they let it, when it comes out, when you crack the egg open, it's a hard-boiled egg, and it has a black tarry, gooey center, which would be the yolk. Quite a delicacy, I guess, over there, yeah.
Yowza.
You have to grow up with
That's
that
as
stuff.
well disgusting.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that does the trick. Well, thank you, Dan, for the call. We appreciate it.
You bet. You guys have a great day.
Anybody that's ever been to, the United Kingdom, especially if you go up to Scotland, you'll always hear them say, would you like some haggis?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a lamb's or sheep's bladder stuffed with like sweet breads.
Yeah.
It's just, I've never had it. I've taken a bite of a lot of things. They're like, oh, really? That's a local. I've had haggis offered to me and I've seen it and I just couldn't do it. Not a chance.
No, I haven't sat down at the table with haggis. I have been lutefisk. When you move to Minnesota, they can't wait to feed you lutefisk, your friends. And I don't know, Ryder.
Your friends? They're not your friends if they want to feed you lutefisk.
That's why they want to do it. They went through this painful process as a kid, and someone's grandmother keeps rolling out this lutefisk. One of these things they ate when they had to because they got here at the turn of some century, and they needed to soak the fish in lye so that they could eat it and
bury it.
Bring it across country or whatever.
I don't know if you guys remember this. My first week probably on this show, somebody referenced lutefisk, and I was like, what is, and I said, what is that word? And I insisted that you spell it because I was like, lutefisk? What the? It made no sense to me whatsoever.
Can't wait to feed it to you. So I tried it. I tried it once.
Did you?
It wasn't pleasant.
Okay.
That wasn't probably the worst thing I ever put in my mouth. I told the story, I think, on Monday when we were covering another topic about the bird that pooped in my mouth at Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
That magical trip to Disney World with my daughters, and all they remember is a bird pooped in Dad's mouth.
That's
not, it wasn't a bullseye, but there was enough bird poop in there. Kind of tangy, kind of like lutefisk, I think.
Fish jelly, yeah.
I have I've bitten into a gel cap before, an Advil gel cap, and that's on this list, and I've done that. It's not what you expect, and it's awful. Just gonna say that. Just don't. It's good when you're drunk. I'll take these before I go to sleep, so I won't have a headache. But then you got to be not so drunk that you then chew them.
Yeah. The Advil tablets actually have a candy coating, which makes them tasty.
They do.
Like
but
an
it's
M&M.
different than the tablets.
Yeah. That's a very good point. We got a couple more here. KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. Lore. Good morning, Lore. Are you with us? Lore?
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening over there?
Well, all's well on the east side.
Thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. Have you got a story to share?
Yeah, when I was a little gal, I'm called Shorty.
Okay.
And so I was barely enough to see my grandfather in bed. And we would bring Hershey bars to him.
Okay.
And I said, why is he spitting up the Hershey bars?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
My dad goes, no, you're chewing snuff.
Chewing snuff.
Uh-oh.
Is that it? He was chewing snuff?
All right, Lord, thanks for the call. We're having a bad connection here. We got to bounce off that.
Now I'm starting to question whether things are okay on the east side now.
Yeah, what's happening over there? There was
snuff.
Lord, chewing snuff.
I mean, he wasn't in the bedpan, was he? Grabbing a Hershey bar. Let's
no.
All right, no.
It could have been worse.
All right, let's see if we got Dave back online too. Dave, are you with us? Hey, Dave. All right, appreciate you trying back. Some things just aren't meant to be.
Yeah.
We thought Dave was going to come through, but these things happen.
I like this one that they wrote in. Someone was sleepwalking and they ate half a bowl of potpourri thinking it was cereal.
That's great.
Where you're sleepwalking after a night on the town.
Holy smokes!
Although some of that cereal.
Yeah, that's really pretty good right there. Hey, you can meet up with Woody and Leinenkugels this Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Cub Wine and Spirits in Maple Grove. Win some Leine's gear and paddles, plus you get to sample some Leinenkugels beer. That's Maple Grove Cub 4 to 6 this Friday. Woody and Leinenkugels. A fine combination of features right there.
Oh, yeah.
The Woodman, the beer, the paddles, the gear. It's all good.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
The Minneapolis Park and Rec Board has closed all of Lake Nokomis's beaches until further notice because of a sewer backup nearby.
Feces, tainted with human feces, trying to derail our
beautiful sunny day on Lake Nokomis in Minneapolis.
Summer of fun.
Kind of grabs your attention and you're like, no.
Yes.
Sewage.
Except, what's that smell?
Floating free in my lake.
The poo.
A scented visual I can't shake. Baking under the sun.
It's human poo.
Ew!
Feces in poopy Nokomis.
Poop in dirty water.
And now that we know this,
fecal matter. Feces.
Our swimming is done.
1 minute, someone says the words Poopy Nokomis and a 989 Rock. Callers 9 and 2 will have a chance to compete in the squared circle for Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie tickets. 651-989 Rock. Get on the horn as we speak. And while we await that, what's up, Hastings? Let's take a moment and say hello to our friends down in Hastings.
Oh, for a good time, always. Yeah, riding a keg over Vermilion Falls. Who hasn't done that? The Beer Stube. That's one of Tony Lee's favorites. We used to do a lot of gigs down at the Beer Stube.
The Depot in Hastings. Can I get a shout out for the Depot in Hastings? Pete would always call me from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Good morning, Pete.
Yeah, down there on the Big River.
There was I'm thinking of a place I've not been, but I want to go in Hastings, and I believe it's called The Quarry. They got a rock room. Have you heard about that?
I have not.
It's one of those things where it's a tap house called The Quarry, and they have a if I understand this, they've got a room where you can just go in and like throw rocks at stuff.
I'm there.
It's a rock range.
Oh, nice.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
Practice your aim, relieve a little stress with our variety of targets.
I wonder, why can't we have our KQ Morning Show meeting there?
What could go wrong with beer and rocks?
Nothing.
Come on, man. And I don't mean Aerosmith rocks. I'm talking about rocks, like a good old-fashioned rock fight situation.
Oh,
Come
man.
on.
Yeah.
That sounds great. But anyway, so a lot of folks down in Hastings listening to the show on a daily basis, and we just want to say, we hear you, we see you. Rock on, Hastings, Minnesota. Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie this Sunday night, XL Energy Center. I am looking at 2 tickets. Let's see if anybody wants to win these bad boys. Tony, before we bring on the contestants, what will you be subjecting them to today?
Well, this is just good fun. I should mention my lovely bride is from Hastings, so
did not
love
know that.
Hastings. Had many
and you guys
fun
met
times
in a rock fight.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
got her right in the forehead.
That's right.
I went, wow, that's pretty.
See, that's how they roll in Hastings. If you smack someone in the head with a rock, you have to marry them. It's like the Amish. If you see a woman's bloomers, you have to marry her.
Bloomers.
Maybe I got my facts wrong. I'm not sure. What are we doing today, Tony?
Our callers are going to play this.
They have an app for that.
There's an app for that?
There's an app.
There's an app?
Sure, there's an app for that.
That is crap.
That is crap.
That is crap.
The KQ Morning Show presents
Crap.
App or crap, this is turning out to be a fun game. Now, Lake Nokomis inspired the crap element here.
It's unbelievable.
Apps, they're life-enhancing or they're incredibly time-wasting. But we love them, so we're going to give you a name and a brief description, and you guess, is it a real app or made-up crap?
Like it. Who is contestant number 1?
Number 1 is Bonnie from Roseville.
Bonnie from Roseville, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Bonnie, I got to ask you, what's your favorite band? You only get one.
Van Halen.
Excellent. Favorite team? Any sport?
Oh, Minnesota Twins.
I like it. Van Halen and the Twins. That's a heady combination right there. All right, Bonnie, we're playing app or crap for Alice Cooper tickets. Good luck.
All right, she's ready.
I'm ready.
She's all business.
Speechless, nervous. All right, Bon, number 1 is Cat Bounce, a delightfully simple app where you can make virtual cats bounce around your screen and look adorable. App or crap?
I think that's real. It's got to be an app.
It is real.
Bang.
Those kitties are so cute.
If it wasn't, I was going to say, Tony, that's $1 billion idea,
Yeah,
my
no
friend.
kidding.
You end up back at her place, you see that on the computer, run.
Bonnie, number 2 is Milk the Cow. You fill a bucket with milk by virtually squeezing udders in the shortest time possible, competing with other milkers.
I think that's real.
You're correct.
Yes.
You're a wise woman.
There are dairy farms out there listening this morning, just probably wrapping up the first part of their workday, just shaking their head going, you got to be kidding me. City people.
All right, Bonita, number 3 is Hold the Mayo. A nostalgic look at the 1980s movie An Officer and a Gentleman, where you attempt to hold up in the air Richard Gere's character Zach Mayo as he floats over oceans and volcanoes and alligators until you drop him.
Oh, boy. I think that's fake. I think it's crap.
You are correct. That's utter nonsense.
That was really hard for me not to laugh. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. That was fantastic.
Zach Mayo. Mayonnaise.
I got nowhere else to go.
That's right.
You eyeball with me, boy?
Man.
Okay. Bond number 4 is Plumber's Crack. A virtual plumber is bending over a sink, exposing a portion of his buttocks. You flick on the screen's floating ice cubes and try to get them to land into the plumber's crack. App or crap?
I'm going to call crap on that one.
Incorrect. It is an actual app.
That I may have downloaded and played myself.
Have you played Plumber's Crack?
Yeah, I was curious.
I'm not judging.
Got pretty good at it. Right. I feel like I want to take on a real plumber.
Well, someday.
Get my tray of ice
That's a line
cubes.
in that Devo song. Ice your plumber's crack. Yeah.
Bonnie, your last one, number 5, is Ned Zeppelin. Pick your favorite Led Zeppelin track, and The Simpsons' Ned Flanders will wail on it on his cartoon Jimmy Page-style Gibson double-neck guitar.
Oh, boy. I'm going to call crap.
Correct. Wow. That is made up.
I was reaching for my phone.
Another moneymaker, though. Let's get the boys over in IT on that one.
Good job,
Bonnie, 4 for 5. Very well played, dear.
Oh boy!
All right, those Alice Cooper tickets. They're not in your hand, but they're leaning your way with 4 for 5. So we're going to put you on hold for a minute. It's time to move on to contestant number 2. Who do we have?
We'll see what Rachel from Red Wing has.
Rachel, good morning.
Good morning.
Rachel, what's your favorite band all time?
Oh, probably Guns N' Roses.
That'll work. Favorite team, any sport?
Oh.
Sorry?
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. All right.
Okay.
Wow, I like that.
Nice.
Welcome to the jungle of the Western Conference. Rachel is a Gunners fan. She's a Timberwolves fan, and she's about to play App or Crap. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Rachie, number 1 is Car Matey. This pirate-themed app helps you find where you parked your car using a compass feature so you can pretend you're searching for lost pirate treasure booty.
I think that's an app.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Car Matey.
See how ridiculous I can make my drunken stumble.
I know.
Not that I would be going to my car. Though,
I had that exact. I was like, who needs the? Oh, drunk people. Never mind. Never mind. Sorry. Duh.
Rach, number 2 is Your Nose Knows. This app uses scent technology sensors that can be used at grocery stores to determine freshness and ripeness of produce and even detect the body odor of an offensive partner or coworker as they get near.
That's crap.
Yeah, that is crap.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rach, number 3 is Gene Muscle Machine. Using realistic footage from gyms around the country, you manipulate the image of comedic actor Eugene Levy to lift weights and carry them around to exhaustion.
Let's go with crap.
It is. Eugene Levy doesn't lift weights.
That's my kind of app.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about the. Oh my God! I'm sorry. What was the newsman he played on SCTV?
Oh, I'm Earl Camembert.
Earl Camembert. That's it. Earl Camembert. Incredible.
Rage number 4 is Angry Cheetah Simulator. Rule the jungle. Use your unmatchable speed to catch prey. Live and hunt in the wild, surviving as a mighty cheetah.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Let's say that's an app.
It is an app.
Woo!
Wow.
All right.
You are on a roll, Rachel.
One more.
And we all like that.
Yes.
And the woo afterwards.
Yeah.
Rachel, you are 4 for 4, which means if you get this last one, you win the tickets. If not, we're going to a tiebreaker. Good luck.
Yep. Good luck, Rachie. Your last one is Snap Crap, a virtual map of the city that is used to track the location of human feces littering the streets of San Francisco.
What? Crap. Literally, crap.
I'm sorry, that is a real app featured on the news in San Francisco. It's such a problem that they have an app.
That's true. They do have an app so that people can report it, and the city will come out and scoop up that human feces just laying about.
Thanks, tech billionaires. for ruining one of the great cities in America and blaming it on the human feces. Anyway, that's a comment for another day. Listen, that means Rachel and Bonnie are tied 4 for 5.
Oh, for cripe's sake.
We got a tiebreaker, which means Tony Lee, Quizmaster General, will ask a question, and you will both be given a chance to answer. We'll get Bonnie's answer first, and then we'll get Rachel's. Closest to the correct answer wins. Good luck, ladies. Let's do it, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, chicks. How many times is the F word used in the film Scarface?
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm going to guess 72.
Okay.
72. And word on the street coming in. Did we lose Rachel?
We lost Rachel.
Oh, damn it.
So,
No.
yeah, so
She was so
is
upset
that her
about
calling
that app.
back right there?
Well,
I wonder.
Let's,
Want me to grab
let's
it?
give her the chance. Maybe it is. Forgive us, Bonnie, but we want to be fair here. If we lost a caller who went 4 for 5, we got to give him a chance to get back in.
The call came in so quickly, I thought it might be one of those oops on Rachel's end, and I see
Doesn't look
Ryder's
like it.
doing a tap dance over there. We've got a thumbs up.
Ryder.
We've made contact with Rachel.
Okay.
She's okay.
Rachel, you with us?
Ryder's still hitting
Nothing's
buttons.
happening.
We really threw a curveball at her over there. She's got it.
All right, let me.
Here.
that was totally my bad. I'm
Wow.
sorry about that, Rachel.
Wow.
Okay.
I've got
Ryder.
Rach on 3.
That's great. So we've got Rachel back. Very well done getting back in. Sorry that we disconnected you. Rachel, it's a tiebreaker question. You have to answer. Bonnie's already given us an answer. Tony, share the question again with Rachel and we'll see what she thinks.
Sure. Rach, how many times is the F word used in the film Scarface?
41.
41.
Rachel says 41. Bonnie had 72. I don't know the answer, but I'm going to assume it's a little closer to 72 than 41. I could be wrong. What do we got, Tony?
The correct answer, there were 206 F-bombs dropped.
Holy smokes. That means Bonnie Van Halen Twins fan is winning the Alice Cooper tickets. Well done, Bonnie. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Rachel, so sorry. Great playing on your part. It came up a little short on the F word, but pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm glad you made it back in for the tiebreaker. Bonnie, congrats. Have a great time at the show Sunday.
Hey, thanks so much. It'll be awesome.
It will
Appreciate
be
you guys.
awesome. Cheers. I'm not going to shoot you, Frank. No. Manolo, shoot that piece of... Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
There's so many lines in that movie that are so great.
Yeah, no kidding. First, you get the. Never mind.
What, you like a little bird? Like a little Baltimore Oriole? But seriously, Pacino, just, I mean, because of all the overacting in the... even when he does it, it somehow works.
It's still one of my favorite Al Pacino movies, let alone I just one of my. I think I'd put that in my top 50.
Oh, it's just...
No, it's fun.
Top 50 Pacino films?
No, just movies.
That was it wasn't very long after that when he just it turned into like after Scent of a Woman, pretty much every character he ever plays goes hoo-ah,
Yeah,
at least
over the
once.
top.
He just never dropped that after Scent of a Woman.
And Michelle Pfeiffer, the only actress that ever portrayed a cokehead as super mellow, like she was on Quaaludes or something.
Well, that was a part of it.
Just snort a big head full of coke and then just lay down on the couch and go.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you thinking heroin? I think you researched the wrong drug. She's so innocent, Michelle.
What you got me?
I'm questioning whether I should share a line I once heard from a rock and roll bodyguard.
Yeah.
Didn't work for my
do.
band. It was an old school, back in the 80s when the metal bands were the metal bands, a guy that was a personal bodyguard for a giant rock star said these words. I heard him say, it's amazing what you can get a woman to do when you've put a Quaalude in her ass. And I thought, there's more than just that. And I thought, yeah, that's a different world. That's a different worldview than mine. I'll just tell you right now.
Just when I think I've scaled the mountain, I look over and I see a higher peak.
What a revelation.
And I thought to myself, well, that's not surprising at all. If that's where you're starting the conversation, yeah. I mean, are we talking about like she's going to go knock off a 7-Eleven, I guess? Or is she thinking something else?
I've got something else in mind.
Going to play Truth or Dare? Okay, first, take this pill. Oh, the 80s. I'm glad I missed them. You can find Steve Gorman and the KQ Morning Show podcast anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want. Check it out. Sponsored by Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies. What's wrong with Devani's? Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Oh, not a damn thing at all. What's the most disgusting thing you've put in your mouth? Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. I've heard that song All Right Now by Free before, so I know when it's about to end. Ryder's giving us the look. Guys, it's
Hand
almost
signals.
over.
Hand signals.
I've heard this song 6 million times, and it still works for me every time.
Supposed to use your index finger to point, Ryder.
Can you get too much of a good thing? The answer, yes. That song destroyed Free.
Yeah.
It was so big. It was so everywhere. It was the biggest hit in the world. And the label was like, okay, guys, where's the next one? And they were like, we don't have another one quite like that. It really, the pressure they faced to try to match All Right Now was a big part of what drove that band apart.
I think probably, I would argue that I like the Freeze albums more than even Bad Company, which Paul Rogers would then run off to Bad Company. I love that music so much, but you're right. That song is a one-off.
Yeah.
They I don't know how that came together, but the rest of their music, which is incredible, and I love that song.
Yep.
But it did not define the band. You would hear that single, download the free album, grab it right now, and go, what's the rest of his stuff? I would highly encourage you to listen to the entire album, but yeah.
Oh, no. Just such a great band. And just children. Literally, when they started, the bass player was 16. I think Paul Rogers and Simon Kirk were 18. The guitarist was 17. I mean, they were literally kids when they put that first record out. Anyway, great band for a very brief period of time. Left us with some great music to listen to. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk and Text line. If you're just joining us, hey, what's the grossest thing you ever put in your mouth? That's where we've been spending some time today. And we do have some callers right now who want to share a story with us. I believe Shark, oh my God, Shark is on the horn. Shark, good morning.
Hey, top of the morning to ya.
What do you got for us, brother?
Okay, well... As you guys know, I go by Shane Dean on screen, but Shark on the radio and music scene. So I wanted to start off by saying good morning to the gorgeous Haley Steinfeld, who I know is listening right now, with her mother, Sherry. Anyway, before I digress, I did this feature film called Deadfall Trail, and I was the lead actor in Deadfall Trail, which you'll find on my website, ShaneDean, a.k.a. Shark.com.
Okay.
Filmed out in Arizona, and on the way up to our set, we traveled from Phoenix to the Williams Flagstaff area where we filmed the primary shoot. And halfway up there, we we had like a caravan of our whole crew, like 10 vehicles with all our crap on it, and we had to take a pee. So. We pulled over into this right off the I-17. There's these places you can stop for cattle guys and horse guys that they could stop and let their horses or their cattle walk around a little bit or whatever. They put up a temporary corral. So we had to stop, and we pulled over at one of these spots to take a piss. and so the director and myself were over in one area, and then the co-star, Cavan, who plays the guy in the film, we started having some sort of pissing contest. So it ended up with me chasing these guys while trying to take a pee. And then our assistant director, Katie, she was like the little sister, the bossy one that has to keep everyone in line. She's like, Mr. Shark, you need to stop trying to be your director. And we were all laughing anyway. There happened to be some horse manure right there where they had just walked some horses. And I'm like, Katie, if you don't shut up, you sound like the little sister griping at me, all right? Now, if you don't stop griping at me, I'm going to put this cow or horse turd on my tongue, chew it up, and spit it out at you. And she's like, you will not. I put it directly in my mouth, chewed it up, and ran after her like a freaking crazy zombie.
Okay.
Oh, all right, Shark. All right.
Well,
I don't know about you guys, but I'm sober now.
Yeah.
You are a madman.
yikes.
I mean,
I don't want to digress.
I'm just telling you, I think I found my +1 at Cragen's. I'm not only telling you, I'm warning you.
Woo!
Shark and Zepp ride again.
Man.
Wow.
That was my man spinning a yarn right there. All right, Shark, fair enough.
Shark man.
On the KQ Talking text line, Jim he texted, my niece ate a fat wood tick thinking it was a grape.
Oh, no.
Blood squirted everywhere.
No.
Ow. My goodness.
Oh, well, this one piggybacks with that one. Nurse Josie, I was removing an arterial sheath from a femoral artery. That's the big one in the leg, right? The main vein.
Well, who hasn't done that?
As
Typical.
you do. When I went to abate the bleeding, blood squirted all over me and got in my mouth. I was mortified. I was also 5 months pregnant. I wanted to run and rinse my mouth out, but I was holding pressure on my patient's groin. That can be so frustrating. Anyway, all I could do at that moment was spit it out, large amounts of someone else's blood from my mouth. That was disgusting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was beats my bird poop story.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if a pregnant woman ingests someone else's blood, that's how they have one of those babies from the movie It's Alive.
Right?
Turns your baby into a blood-sucking monster itself. There's nothing wrong with the Davis baby, except it's alive. Man, that movie freaked me out when I was a kid.
Cue the shark scream.
Yeah. John texted in, my homie's girlfriend ate a bunch of fresh pet dog food when she was drunk one night. Thought it was liverwurst.
That's not so bad.
I mean,
Could be
liverwurst, dog food, that's a lateral move.
It pretty much is. Another text, a friend of mine was washing her windows. The spray bottle had failed. She emptied the bottle into a glass and was dipping a rag into the glass. So I guess it looks like Windex. Like the spray doesn't work. She took a break. Her 8-year-old daughter wanders through and thinks, "Oh, Kool-Aid, yes." Yeah. Takes a big pull off the glass, followed promptly by blue projectile vomiting for the next couple of minutes.
An Arctic blast.
Her mom asks, her mom asked, "Did you learn anything?" And the kid said, "Yeah, blue Kool-Aid sucks." It's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, and then another one from Cindy on the text line. Cindy from Lester Prairie. My cousin and myself were at a party. There was a lot of drinking going on. We had to go pee. And as we're walking through the living room past a buffet with a fish tank on it, we thought we would snoop and see if there was alcohol in that cabinet. We grabbed what we thought was a beer funnel and brought it outside to use. My cousin poured a full can of beer in the funnel, and as I'm sucking it down, I heard someone say, "Does she not know that's what I use to clean my fish tank?" And then just one word, hurled.
Yeah.
That's a pretty strong one. Man alive. These are all fantastic. Oh, I do need to answer a text. Rick wrote, Rick from St. Paul, Steve's referencing rock fight. Whenever I tell people my brothers and I had rock fights, as a kid, they never heard of rock fight. They don't always believe me. Yeah, rock fights, that was a thing in the day. Oh, yeah. You just find a rock, you're going to pick it up and throw it at something or someone. It was not even a very little thought involved. It was just, I bet I could, hey, Mike, and you just hit someone with a rock.
You can't skip it.
Mrs. Brotherton, Lloyd Brotherton, we were in the rock fight, and he ended up getting one of those big shiners where the eye's not only swollen shut, but it's huge and dark purple.
Yeah.
And you know what Mrs. Brotherton did?
What's that?
She got us goggles. It's like, if you good boys are going to throw rocks at each other, I want you to wear these goggles.
I thought you were going to say she put a stake on his eye.
That's effective. That's effective management right there. That's like the old English, the English Bobby, the cop is he's trying to pull the drunk guy out of the pub, and the drunk guy's screaming at him. He says, "Now, are you going to shut up, or do I have to put in earplugs?" It's like it's effective people management.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's the two famous Gorman family rock fight stories. The one, I know I've shared this. My brother Doug took a rock right in the face, and it cut his eyelid. He had to get stitches in his eyelid, bleeding, blues, big shiner and blood coming out of his eyelid. And I open the front door of the house, and my brother Dave is escorting the mortally, we thought, wounded Doug up the front yard hill. And he screams at me, "Doug got hit by a rock." And I turned and ran inside to my dad and my 3 oldest brothers, and I screamed, "Doug got hit by a car," because that's what I thought Dave said. You've never seen, the old Marine Sergeant Don Gorman and his 3 oldest boys come off that couch, and they are racing out the front door. And there's Doug crying and bleeding and his eyes all messed up. And my dad is just, and he looks at me and goes, "Where's the car?" And there's a car at the stop sign in front. I go, "I guess it's him. I didn't know." And my dad tears ass down the front yard hill to pull a man out of his vehicle.
Who's just out for the...
Just some guy. Well, he didn't get to it. The car pulls off, and my dad's yelling at him. And then Dave is going, "No." Like, there was confusion. And then I was like, I'm going to go to my room now and await my execution.
Yes.
And then the other good one was I got hit in the face with a it was a mud clod, a dirt clod, but it had a big rock in it. It was a rock packed in dirt. A kid up the street, I almost said J.R. Richard, the old pitcher for the Houston Astros. J.R. Carpenter was this kid's name. Hit me in the face. Boom. I'm in 4th grade. He's in 6th grade. I get a shiner immediately, like just pow. And I walk in the house crying, and my brother Dave sees me, goes, "What happened?" And I said, "JR hit me with a rock." And JR lived like 4 houses away. And my brother ran out the front door of the house, sprinted to JR's house.
Ass-kicking time.
A house he's never been in. He didn't knock on the front door. He just opened the front door and ran into the house. And JR was sitting in front of his TV after a day at school eating a bowl of ice cream. And my brother ran in there and beat his ass.
Oh, my God.
Sitting on his own sofa watching Gilligan's Island eating ice cream. And a crazed Gorman brother runs in and just punches him repeatedly. And his mom is like, "What are you doing?" And he's just screaming, beating this kid. Yeah. And then he just runs back out of the house and runs back to our house. He's just lost his mind. And then this woman, Mrs. Carpenter, she comes down and she and my mom have it out, and it's just like, "Look at my son's eye." He's like, "Your son went into my home and beat up my son." The 70s. It was great back then.
Your mom started wailing on him.
Like, yeah, exactly. And then it's like, wait till Don gets home. We can end this real quick. When the duck gets here, it's all over. Anyway, fun times.
If there was
fun
a
times
rock
in the
fight,
1970s.
If a kid had thrown a rock at someone today, I think there would be police involved, right?
There'd be lawyers and lawyers, guns, and money. Yeah, you'd need them all. No question about it.
I bet if you had run in the house and instead of saying, was it Doug was hit by a car?
Yeah.
You had said Doug was hit by, in fact, accurately, a rock. Your dad would have looked over his shoulder and said, "Shut the door."
He would have
You left the door open.
Yeah, he would have said duck next time.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you got hit by a rock? What's the matter with you?
And?
Yeah, no questions asked.
Turn up the TV for me.
Put the rock back where it came from.
That's exactly right. Next time you're in the creek, you put those rocks back, damn it. Top 5 at 9. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning. It is Wednesday, August the 21st. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. The fair is right around the corner, and we are getting ready. We'll be out there Friday midday-ish at the corner of Cooper and Lee. We'll be enjoying ourselves as one does at the fair, eating too much, drinking too much, sweating a little too much, and looking at all the inappropriate T-shirts, and then thinking about just how great it is to go to the fair and simply people watch.
Oh, yeah,
people
it is.
watching.
I mean, yeah, just eating. I often wonder, I feel like that's why I want one of those mesh shirts, Ryder, and I want to cut it off. I want to be people watched a little bit. I just don't feel like I'm unique or weird enough out there. I got to get weirder.
I like the way that you say, "I want a mesh shirt." Ryder.
She's in charge of the KQ Morning Show wardrobe.
Make it so.
If this was a rock tour, it'd be, where's that mesh shirt tech? There she is. We were putting together a playlist for people watching at the fair earlier. All kinds of music. We agreed. Ryder, of course, was the one who had the guts to say, "Well, Fat Bottom Girls would be a absolutely fine."
Be proud.
Yeah. Be proud. I do notice the last year I was well aware of a lot of short shorts out there, and that's not a complaint. It's just an observation.
No, and that's the one thing that comes with the heat. People start taking their clothes off, and there are some people you want to see wearing a little bit less. Annie, by the way, we're talking about gross things that go in your mouth. If I could just back up to that story, because she had a great one. She said she didn't know if it counted or not, but she got really drunk at the beer garden at the Minnesota State Fair 10 years ago and made out with a carny.
Oh,
does that count? A carny's tongue in your mouth?
Yes, that counts.
I have puked in the back alley behind the Uptown bar.
Yeah, that counts also.
Man, I think any interaction with a carny that goes beyond a nod and a thank you when they get you off the ride, anything beyond that is you're pushing the envelope. Yeah. You know, you're basically saying, I'm Evel Knievel. I'm taking this motorcycle over these buses. Maybe I won't crash.
It's literally the only place as a guy you will take your very attractive girlfriend to and let someone kind of get away with leering at them. You're like, you just because you pick your battles. You're like, I'm not making my stand here right now with the carny, and he's leering at everyone. But come on,
no, it's important.
Pretty mouth, ain't he?
Maybe he was leering at me.
Hey, quick shout out for our friends down in Bloomington.
Yeah.
What's happening? No shortage of KQ listeners in Bloomington, and no shortage of things going on in Bloomington on a regular basis.
Some of the finest softball fields around. Played a lot of softball in Bloomington, and then you've got that little old mall over there.
I heard about that little old mall.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Rosemary and I first came up to check out KQ, this is, November of 22, I guess, a year and a half ago, had a couple hours to kill on the way to the airport. And, of course, she's like, hey, let's go to that big-ass mall down here. Yeah. And we walked in, and I walked around for like 10 minutes, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit. I was so over. I don't do well in malls generally. I'm like, I need a targeted strike. Like when Christmas shopping, I'm like, I need a list, and you got to tell me what stores to go into. And I get distracted, and I'll be gone I'll just check out. And I walked in, there was so much happening, and it was so big. And I looked at the map of the mall, and I went, no. Have fun. Yeah. I'm not gonna move for an hour. You go do what you got to do. I'll be right here. And it worked out great for both of us.
If you're looking for a place just to crash for a little bit, they have a bench very nearby Ribicki Cheese out of Wisconsin.
All right.
Every day, massive samples at Ribicki Cheese.
Oh, yeah, and a toothpick.
Oh, yeah, and the
toothpick. All right, good to know.
So
good to know.
Get your fill there.
Well, rock on, Bloomington. It's time for your top 5 at 9. Number 5. Check this out. Voyager's Wolf Project. These are people who look after wolf populations and try to reintroduce them in certain areas. They have found a mysterious animal. It looks to be a mix of a wolf and a large dog, like maybe a Malamute, spotting around northern Minnesota. The wolf has a dark fur coat with light brown legs and a short, bushy tail. They noticed the unusual appearance because it was traveling with 2 normal, in quotes, adult wolves. Yeah. So on the cameras, they caught footage of 3 animals. 2 of them are obviously just wolves. And now this third wolf chilling around up in northern Minnesota. So if you happen to see one and if you look at it, you go, hey, what's that wolf with the weird short bushy tail? See if you can't get a leash on that bad boy and bring him in. We're trying to find out what we got here.
I wonder who was the promiscuous one. Was it the wolf that jumped the Malamute? How do you say that?
Malamute?
Malamute. Or vice versa. That would be Minnesota's version of the Liger from Napoleon Dynamite.
It would be, or Cheech and Chong's Black Lassie was a long-legged Afghan who bred with a city rat, I believe, if memory serves. Hey, the price of gold, your number 4 on your top 5 at 9. If you've got a bar of gold up in the attic or the basement, like, you had that eccentric uncle and he left you that bar of gold, it's now, for the first time ever, worth $1 million.
Yeah. $1 bar?
One bar. Average gold bar weighs 400 troy ounces is what they're called. And now we're at $2,500 per troy ounce for the first time ever. I don't have a bar of gold. I don't know anyone that does have a bar of gold. I've been to Fort Knox, however. I've been on the base. I haven't seen the gold. I just went there once. But that's my point is I've never been near a bar of gold as far as I know. But hey, like I said, if you got one laying around, it's now worth $1 million.
Good for you.
Number 3 in your top 5 at 9, the world's oldest person, a woman in Spain, has moved on. She has left planet Earth. She was 117 years old. This woman was born in 1907, Maria Morera, and she's no longer with us. She died as she had hoped to in her sleep, peacefully without pain. 1907. That means, let's see, a woman just died who was, when the Beatles hit America, she was in her late 50s. Wow. I mean, like, go back at anything in history. Like, the end of World War II, she was, pushing 40. And she's still with us until yesterday. The second oldest person in the world is now number 1. That is a woman in Japan who is 116 years old. It's interesting. They say there are babies who have already been born who will be alive to be 150.
That's too long.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too long.
It's too much. I don't. That's, how much? Well, here's a 101-year-old. Here's the secret. Here's how you get to 150.
What's my secret to a long life? To drink all the booze you can drink.
Come on.
Yeah, drink all the booze you can drink. And that lady right there, 56.
She's not done yet.
I'm 56. Or wait, I'm 100. What am I? I don't know. Could I have another drink?
What?
Let's see. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. St. Paul has yet another champion named Lee. You got Suni Lee, champion gymnast, and now you got Dia Lee, a 38-year-old mother of 4, is a world champion at cornhole.
Yeah.
Right. Hell yeah. She can throw a beanbag through a hole in a wooden plank literally better than anyone else on earth, apparently.
Eyes closed.
Man,
Here she is.
It's fun in general, and I'm a competitive person, so it allows me to stay competitive and be competitive. Makes me feel proud. It makes me feel happy. And, the success is just not my own. It's my husband, my kids, my sponsors. A lot of people think, oh, it looks so easy. All you have to do is just put it in the hole. But once they try it, they're like, oh, my goodness, this is a lot more difficult than it seems.
No nonsense.
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I should try it sober.
It's hard to imagine doing that sober for very long. I mean, I can see, you haven't had the first sip yet as you start. But yeah come on.
It's like shooting pool, throwing darts. There's 2 beers for me. It probably varies for 2 beers. I am, I'm a world champ. I'm competing with her. You get to about that 5th or 6th, and God knows where I'm throwing the bag. Duck.
It's fascinating. My billiard game is entirely linked to the alcohol.
Yeah.
It's sporadic and pour, and then a second beer, all of a sudden it's like clearly my central nervous system just hits a state of relaxation where suddenly geometry works again.
The hustler.
and then so through the 3rd beer into the 4th, it's just I'm Minnesota Fats, and then I'm not, and then I'm like, what song are you gonna play in the jukebox next? And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, never mind.
I don't know why. Miscue thunk.
I don't need to be holding a stick. These things happen. Hey, before we get to our number 1 story for your top 5 at 9, I want to mention that Lenny Kravitz Blue Electric Light Las Vegas taking over Dolby Live at Park MGM October. You could be on your way to see Lenny in Vegas. You could score a trip for 2. That includes round trip air, a 2-night stay at Park MGM, and 2 premium tickets to see Lenny Kravitz in Las Vegas. Text the national keyword Vegas to 95819 right now to enter for your chance to win. That would be a fine trip, I would imagine. And finally, your number 1 story at 9. Lake Nokomis, still poopy, still closed. There was a sewage leak on Monday, and Lake Nokomis took the brunt of it. Ryder did a little bit of research, a field trip.
Yeah.
A field trip down to Nokomis yesterday.
Yeah, nobody swimming in the water, lots of probably animal poop hanging out on the beach. One person was adventurous and decided to wade in. I hope they washed their feet. We'll see how it goes.
Oh,
Man.
that's nasty. You know, that's the lake that I took a kayak lesson, and it was where if a kayak arrests and you're upside down in a kayak, how to right the kayak. I forget the terminology for it.
Okay.
Probably canceled those classes, I would guess. Nobody's hanging out upside down in a kayak out there.
Although the motivation to not turn that kayak over greater than ever right now.
No doubt.
Poopy Nokomis, we love you, but right now, still, if you're thinking about going to Nokomis, don't. It's still we'll keep you apprised when it's clean. We'll be happy. Ryder will be happy, and then we'll let you know. It's going to be a beautiful thing. We do have coming up for you sports and music history, of course. But before that, speaking of poopy, beautiful poopy Lake Nokomis, here's a little magic from Tony Lee.
The Minneapolis Park and Rec Board has closed all of Lake Nokomis's beaches until further notice because of a sewer backup nearby.
Feces, tainted with human feces, trying to derail our
beautiful sunny day on Lake Nokomis in Minneapolis.
Summer of fun.
Kind of grabs your attention and you're like, no.
Yes.
Sewage.
Except, what's that smell?
Floating free in my lake.
The poo.
A scent and visual I can't shake. Baking under the sun.
It's human poo.
Ew!
In poopy Nokomis.
Poop in
Dirty water.
And now that we know this,
Fecal matter.
Feces.
our swimming is done.
At this very time, tomorrow, in studio, comedian Chad Daniels will be with us.
Yeah.
A very funny... I had it and I lost it. So we're talking about music to play at the fair, and then the other thing we were talking about throughout the day was the grossest things that we've ever had in our mouths.
Yeah.
They accidentally eat something or drink something. I wasn't going to share this, but you know what? Damn it. It's just, Chris took the time to send this text, and I think I owe it to her. I used to be a home care nurse, and one of my jobs was foot care for my old people. I was cutting an old man's yellow, thick toenail.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
After using all my strength to clip the big toenail, the nail flipped up in the air. And I swear, in slow motion, I watched it spin in midair and land on my bottom lip.
No.
Not quite in my mouth, but close enough where I almost puked. The only reason I didn't was because the poor old guy felt pretty bad for me. Oh, Chris.
I'm sorry.
First things first, Chris, you were doing the Lord's work for sure. So thank you for that.
Old man toe jam.
Yeah, man.
Those yellow toenails.
Man, clipping my nails. I'm a lot. There's something there, let me tell you. Oh, man. Well, the fair is right around the corner. We're excited. So it opens tomorrow. We're there Friday. It's going to be great. Midday Friday at Cooper and Lee. We hope everybody comes out and says, "Hey, what's up?" And you know what we'll say in response? "Hey, what's up with you?" and then we'll take it from there with a fried pickle or two to share. Let's look back. It is August 21st. On this day in 1947, the Little League World Series essentially was born in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. The Maynard Midgets beat Lock Haven 16-7. At that time, it was called the National Little League Tournament. Later, of course, christened the Little League World Series, an event that I watch every year, and I never think I'm going to, I don't even think about it, but then I will flip the channels, or I'll look online, it'll be like Little League World Series, and I'll turn it on and I'll watch 3 innings as if I know these kids.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love to watch it. Same thing, just channel surf along, and then I plop down for a while, and 3 games later,
Remember the Little League World Series hero who then went on to play in the NHL? The kid, I'm spacing on his name. A Little League World Series legend who, and then went on and Chris Drury, hockey player.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah, I believe it is.
Sounds familiar.
Had a really nice run in the NHL, and currently the president of the New York Rangers, apparently. But hit the scene as a Little League World Series stud. Yeah. I love the Little League World Series, especially when that about every 4 years, Puerto Ricans send up a 31-year-old to pitch. Yeah, right. That's always fun.
Got a mustache.
Couldn't find his birth certificate. On this day in 1982, speaking of big older baseball players, Rollie Fingers of the Brewers became the first reliever in history to record 300 saves. He retired with a record 341 saves in 1985. The game has changed so much. That was still a time in the 80s. There was a lot of complete games. You didn't necessarily need the bullpen. You didn't need the closer. Things changed. He retired at 341. Mariano Rivera retired with 652 saves.
Show off.
Yeah, no kidding.
Those damn Yankees, too. And Rollie Fingers, of course he played for the A's, and I'm sure he played for more than just two teams. I don't know that for a fact, but I watched him with the Brewers.
Yeah.
And, of course, that handlebar mustache.
Incredible.
I always thought he was the mascot. I mean, I'm like, the Brewers were named after him, right? I mean, he looked like a brewer.
He certainly did. He looked like he rode to work on a bicycle with a huge front tire.
Yes.
That's exactly what he looked like. In a stovetop hat. Stovetop, whatever you call it.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.